Meghan has blocked King Charles's dream of meeting Prince Archie and Princess Lillibet, Meghan's biggest lie. This is the main content of today's newsletter. Well, apparently King Charles has gotten some pretty rotten news from Montecito. King Charles, of course, is fighting cancer right now, and it seems like he's not going to get to meet his invisible grandchildren, Prince Archie and Princess Lillibet, after all, because Meghan Markle does not agree with Harry's idea to take them to the UK, according to a brand new report. Honestly, it doesn't seem like Harry and Meghan, who walked away from royal life back in 2020 and moved to the US, are ever going to fully return, because apparently Meghan Markle is not such a fan of visiting the UK. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams has claimed that it's not likely a family reunion for the youngest Sussexes could ever happen, because Harry will never dare to bring them to the UK without Meghan Markle there by his side. Harry is planning to visit the UK next month to celebrate 10 years of Invictus Games, and it's probable that Meghan is not going to come with him. Meghan has made a return to the UK since the two of them stepped back from their royal duties in 2020, but not very often, only on very rare occasions, like the Queen's funeral in 2022. But she didn't come back for King Charles's coronation last year, which Harry came to all by himself. Honestly, though, they could come and they could just use their own security people. I mean, they've made so much money trashing the royal family, I would think they can afford it. They need to pay for that themselves. It's also high time the truth comes out about the invisible children. The royal family needs to be transparent about this and just end this whole charade once and for all. So get a DNA test for those two. Make sure they really are the biological children of Harry and Meghan, unless, of course, they adopted them for financial gain. Now, I think Meghan knows that if they bring the children with them, there is going to be a DNA test done, and that's why I think she refuses to come. I mean, they can't hide those kids for much longer. And if Harry can't bring the children, then maybe he shouldn't come either. King Charles needs to cut all of them off. I mean, he doesn't even know if these kids are real, so I don't think he should be worried about them. Or perhaps Meghan is not going to come because she knows that Brits hate her, which is her own fault. It's because of the disgusting way that she and Harry have acted over the past 4 years. And we don't even have any proof that Archie and Lillibet are real. We have no proof that Meghan gave birth to them herself. I mean, supposedly, this is according to her father, she had a hysterectomy when she was in her 20s. The thing is, though, Meghan Markle never thinks of the long term when she comes up with her lies. The children at this point are more than old enough to travel, and Meghan is quickly running out of excuses not to bring them. So now we're hearing it's a matter of safety, whatever. And the only reason that she came to Britain for the late Queen's funeral was because this was a stop-off point for them. The Queen even invited them to come up to Balmoral to visit her while they were in the country, but they said no, and that was just a few days before she passed away. They were just going to stop by for Wellchild, and that was it. Okay, so now let's talk about what is Meghan Markle's biggest lie so far. If you remember, Piers Morgan accused Meghan of lying in that 2021 Oprah Winfrey interview. At the time, Meghan told Oprah, "I just didn't want to be alive anymore. I went to the institution and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help. I was told I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution." Well, according to Piers, Meghan was absolutely lying. I mean, he still hasn't changed his mind on that. He said, "So what's happened since? This is over 2 years ago. Ever since then, not a single shred of evidence or the name of that person has ever been produced. Prince Harry writes a book of over 400 pages, but never mentions it. Didn't mention the racism claims either. It was like it never happened. None of this makes a bit of sense. Why was Harry not able to get some help for Meghan if she was really so desperate?" The fact is, Harry easily could have gotten her some help. He has claimed that he's got his therapist on speed dial. I mean, I guess he supposedly called them after he had that fight with William. So what? He has access to therapists? Okay, but he couldn't call them for Meghan? It makes no sense. It was not seen as a problem for the firm to have him in therapy, so why would it be such a problem for Meghan? Every time I try to figure out all their lies, it's like a rabbit hole I go down. But unfortunately, I don't get any feeling of relief, no satisfaction. I mean, I just feel like I'm stuck in some kind of really bad dream. Looks to me like Meghan Markle wanted to be in charge. Well, of course, the institution was never going to agree with that. They didn't really agree with this whole idea that what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. I mean, hierarchy and protocol are important. Meghan, though, thought they should be equal to the Prince and Princess of Wales. That's never going to happen. Meghan and her kids will always have to walk behind the Prince and Princess of Wales and their family, because someday they will be the king and queen. And of course, there can only be one monarch. The line of succession and the protocols around it have been developed over centuries, and it's really there to prevent disputes, because in the past, I mean, it could get crazy really quickly. The monarchy and who the monarch is basically controlled by Parliament. And I guess Meghan just had a touch of what some people would call summit fever. She just wanted to get to the top. And I still don't believe that she could have gotten pregnant so quickly. Meghan Markle is not mother material. And I don't believe she has any kids. I don't believe she ever really wanted kids. I have never seen anybody so manipulative. You hope that Harry wakes up and sees what's going on and divorces her, sends her back to where she came from, and then we'll get to stop seeing all those horrible pictures of her all over the internet. It makes me sick to see that disgusting face, and she's always looking straight into the camera no matter what the situation is. And of course, Meghan lied. I mean, other royals had plenty of help with their mental health. Diana and even Charles did, and Harry also got help. Doria, Meghan's mother, she's a social worker, and apparently she has a mental health specialist on speed dial too. Time and time again, we have seen that Meghan Markle is a big fat liar. But the apple does not fall far from the tree because Meghan's mom, Doria, is just like that too. She's also a schemer and a grifter, just like Meghan. And honestly, folks, I don't believe that Meghan attended and graduated from Northwestern. I think all of those documents are just as fake as her flight attendant occupation, as fake as the birth certificates for those two fake children. I think it's just all a big scam to get money. And we can picture a possible development here. So it's possible that Meghan Markle, when she said that she needed to go away somewhere, what she really meant was that she wanted a luxurious vacation at some spa. And so maybe there was a comment made that that wouldn't be a good look for the monarchy. Again, since Harry had his therapist on speed dial, he admitted that. Why didn't he call up his therapist and ask for a referral? Honestly, I think Piers is right on this one. And Meghan's not the only liar either. Harry is also a liar. Both of them lied. And when they got caught in their lies, they tried to get sympathy, claiming they have mental health issues. That's no excuse. Both of them knew all about where to turn for help, and both are complicit in the lies. So I don't believe any of that story is true. I'm talking about the suicide ideation, the catastrophic car chase, the TV interview. They're all just trying to compete with Diana. It's really scary and disturbing when you think about it. But this is how Meghan Markle keeps Harry with her. She claims to be the reincarnation of his late mother. I mean, everything that she does is so contrived. But if she were really feeling suicidal, Harry would have gotten her help. I mean, he knows what his mother went through with her mental health troubles. So who was going to stop him from getting help for his wife? He had so many connections with mental health charities, he had a therapist on speed dial, and if he really loved Meghan, then he would have broken all these supposed rules from the institution and he would have done what needed to be done. But see, it's all just a big pile of lies to try to cast Meghan in the Diana mold and portray herself as a victim because of her skin color, and Oprah just played along with her. Meghan Markle said so many lies and Oprah never questioned anything. It's also easy to know when Meghan is lying. And look, I know that people can be depressed and they don't necessarily look it. But Meghan Markle, the look on her face is not the look of a depressed individual. I mean, how could you feel depressed when you have this new love that is growing stronger by the day? They also had so many opportunities back then. I mean, Meghan Markle was able to make that cookbook. She was promoted in a very positive way. In the beginning, her life as a royal was really good, and that's why this story doesn't make sense. She claimed that she didn't have the support of the royal family, but no, that was not true. It was the opposite. The then Prince Charles walked her down the aisle because she had experienced all those problems with her father. And the Queen even took her on a trip where it was just the two of them. She was privileged. And look, I don't want to assume anything when it has to do with mental health, but I don't believe that Meghan was really suicidal. I mean, usually I'll accept anybody's word on that issue, but when it comes to Meghan, no, I don't believe it. And I think it's a really sad thing that she used that to get attention for herself. What Meghan was trying to do was overshadow the good work the royal family was doing with all this made up drama. A perfect example would be her attempt to dress like Wallis Simpson, and then also being the last to go in to celebrate Her Late Majesty's big day. Princess Diana was also kind of guilty of something similar. She would often try to overshadow the work that Prince Charles was doing. But the palace was not trying to oppress her. The palace never did anything to hurt her reputation. Princess Diana had a great relationship with Her Late Majesty and Prince Philip too. And when Elton John tried to mock the Queen in a book for charity, Princess Diana even stopped being friends with him. She was so respectful of the late Queen. But anyway, back to this Meghan Markle being suicidal story. Now, in my experience, if somebody really wants to take their own life, they make plans in secret, and they don't want anybody to find out so that they'll be successful. It's tragic, and I've had people who were close to me who went through with it. Now, Harry claimed that she told him exactly what she wanted to do to herself and that she just didn't want to live anymore. If she really wanted to take her own life, she would not have told Harry. This is just a made-up story because Meghan is desperate for attention. Actually, I'm kind of starting to feel sorry for Wallis Simpson. I mean, now she's always being compared to Meghan. Honestly, Wallis was much classier than Meghan was, and Wallis, for all her faults, didn't try to bring down the monarchy. But anyway, the conclusion is Meghan is a liar. Alright folks, these are the main events that I wanted to share with you. Thank you for your interest and thank you for watching the whole video. What do you think about the above topics? Please comment below to let us know, and don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel.